Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Channel, folks. Let's get ready to rumble. Kyle, it's the playoffs. Come on
Playoffs.
Come on
The
now.
Packers are in it.
Let's go. Not only is it the playoffs, it's the best divisional rivalry in history. Packers, Bears, winner take all. Let's have a day, folks. Packers, Bears first game was 1921, and these teams have faced each other 212 times. My friends, that is history. Now, with that said, most of you know we are pretty much diehard Packer fans, and I'm going to be very honest about this. I'm going to be extremely biased towards the Packers on this episode because I hate Chicago.
Remain neutral. I'll try to remain neutral for the show.
Is our good cop, bad cop for you guys? Okay, he's going to remain neutral, and I'm gonna hate on the Bears because I hate the Bears and I hate Bears fans. I'm sorry, Chicago. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just go right into it. I got Packers on this one. I got Packers money line, and so does ChatGPT AI. They do as well, so we're aligned on this one. We're going to break this down in some detail. First and foremost, I'm going to start with Caleb Williams, a quarterback who I think is overrated. I think he's average at best. I know he's made some beautiful throws, and he can every once in a while he can do a dipsy-do and chuck a dime. But in terms of a consistent quarterback that can stay in the pocket, plant his feet, and make an NFL professional quarterback throw, I have not seen that consistently from him. And this year, what has made him progress so well to do so well is the one and only Ben Johnson. The Ben Johnson effect was real this year. He saved Caleb Williams' career and the Bears organization for that matter. But no, I'm a hater on Caleb Williams until I can see him be a pocket passer and the quarterback and not run around like he's scared all the time. I'm not too worried about him. And then I want to throw one other thing in here. We almost beat the Bears with our backup quarterback, who is Malik Willis, who may be better than Jordan Love. But he's still our backup. We lost 16-22 on that week, and when we had Jordan Love in Lambeau, we won 28-21 a few weeks ago as well. Kyle, giving it to you. I'll breathe for a second.
Yeah, and guess who picked up Malik Willis in Dynasty? Your boy over here. That's right. That was wherever he goes. I can't believe somebody left him available.
That was smart. Damn it.
Oh, I'm glad I was able to scoop that.
I need a quarterback too. I was not thinking.
Yeah, I mean, if they got rid of Jordan Love, kept Malik, and brought in some additional players, I wouldn't be that upset about it. But
so the thing with Malik too, he's been asked before. He's like, you can make more money elsewhere, and he says, I want to be here in Green Bay as the backup. He said that outright.
I know. That's so cool. You gotta love that as a Packers fan.
But we'll see if someone offers him starting money. That might be a different story. If they're like, hey, here's $50 million for a year, we want you to come play. Then that might change that then. But
yeah. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Oh, good show. Good, positive show. Heartwarming. All right.
So I want you to think about this reference, right? The team, Richmond, when they got that really good guy, whatever his name was, that like really famous player.
Football is life? No.
The other guy.
Oh, yeah,
with the C or some crap like that.
Yep.
Avocado farm guy. Anyways, they got this really great player. So all of a sudden the team was really good. They climbed all the way up the ranks. I just feel like that was us with Micah Parsons. And then he left, and then the team fell off. And that's kind of what we've done a bit here. And I just hope they've gotten enough identity on defense without him. And it's hard to replace somebody who's, an elite pass rusher in the NFL, obviously. Very intrigued by the acquisition of that cornerback. What is it, Diggs?
Yep.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yep.
And, we did suffer some injuries back there, so that's probably what pulled the trigger.
Yep.
I think it helps the secondary, and he's guys certainly that can create a turnover. I just don't know if he's had enough time with the team, the defense, and all the players out there.
I don't even know if he'll be out there, to be honest with you. I don't know if he's like
so?
I don't know if he will. I think it's more so for a future thing, or if we need him thing, because he played really poorly this year. But part of me also thinks that he saw the Cowboys selling off the best defensive players. Maybe he's like, I don't want to play here anymore. So maybe he downgraded his play and was like, I don't care as much, and he wants to go on a better team. I don't know. He had that injury a couple years ago, a big injury he's coming back from. But nonetheless, back to your Parsons point, that is the one point where I could see someone argue against the Packers winning, because when we had Parsons, we beat the Bears 28-21. And without him, I could see that being almost a 7-point difference. And Parsons is one of the few, if only, defensive players where if you lose him, it changes the trajectory of your season. So I agree with you on that. But let's do a quick betting analysis. The line opened up at even, as in there was no favorite between the Packers and Bears. Since we think Zach Tom, our tackler, is coming back, that line
Let me give you those injuries. So right now, Dontavian Wicks is out. He's like the Packers' third or fourth receiver. He's out. Zach Tom is questionable, but we think he's going to play. The
Yeah, we need
Packers
him.
are 100% a different team with him and without him.
Yep.
Jordan Love is a different player when this guy is not on the field. I don't know if he's just afraid or what, but you go watch those games. Our running backs, we can't run as well. This is a huge player
It
for
is.
us.
It is.
Malik Willis questionable. I'm sure he'll be the backup. And then a couple of defensive depth pieces that are questionable. And then safety Bullard is questionable. Um, and then Bo Milton is out, injured reserve. He's kind of like a backup special teams player primarily.
Yep.
And then we have a couple other question marks on the offensive line.
So my
But Zach Tom is the big one.
yep.
What's the
My take
question?
my take on that, and anyone that's questionable a day before the game, they are going to play because it's the playoffs. It's do or die. They're going to play. They're leaving them questionable to lead the defensive coordinators or the other coordinators having to, okay, is this guy in? Is this guy in? Who do we got to plan for? They don't want to say in or out because they want to confuse the other team a little bit. Anyone that's for sure out, they're going to be ruled out like they have. Anyone that's questionable, they're putting pads on. They're playing. It's the playoffs. They want to be out there. That's my take on it. We will see Tom play, and we're going to need his butt out there.
Yeah, I would like to think the same, right? But you
Mhm.
never know on some of these things, or somebody does something at practice that makes it worse. You never know.
Yep.
But Zach Tom is the big one, and I'm assuming that would probably be why the point shifted a little bit to Green Bay's favor
Yep.
is his health, because we are a completely different team with and without him all the way around. I don't see Josh Jacobs on this list. I don't see any of our big divas. I don't
He's good to go.
see
Yep.
Watson, Jaden Reed. They look good to go.
Yep.
So, I like that for Green Bay. I've just been really frustrated with what I've saw from them since the absence of Micah Parsons primarily. I think the first game the defense did play fairly well without him, but it's just not the same caliber of a defense. And I gotta say, the Ben Johnson effect is real. This
So
is
real.
something I preached all offseason last year, and it's why I drafted Caleb in a two quarterback league, and
He
he
is the
ended
best
up
coach.
being a pretty good fantasy option under this offensive coach. And, whether you like the guy or not, he's very effective.
Yep. And that's where I can be unbiased. I think he's the best coach in the NFL. Hands down, without a doubt, right now. He did it with the Lions. He brought them from nothing and helped with the offense. And now he did it with the Bears, an organization that has struggled year after year. And he is the
Yeah.
only change.
And the
Obviously
Lions,
some
without
personnel,
him,
but
without Ben Johnson, did not make the playoffs. And they
bingo.
basically did not have very much offensive turnover. Granted, they did lose the defensive coordinator as well. So, they had,
Yeah.
quite a bit of turnover in their coaching staff. But
Yep.
all of their big players, Goff, the running backs, the Divas, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, they're all still there, right? And they
Yep.
couldn't pull off. So, I mean, I think it is real. He's a good, especially offensive mind. He knows what he's doing in this league is how I look at it. And to be able to pull the Bears to win the division is a heck of an accomplishment,
Especially for
even
NFC
as a
North.
hater.
Yep.
Um,
Got to give him
so of
respect there
course
for
I'm
sure.
rooting for the Packers, right? And I do think there is enough for us here to win this game, obviously, and I would, want them to win, of course. Um, but if I was betting, this is very tough for me. I would
I could
probably bet on the Bears.
I was just gonna say, I can tell you're leaning to. It's called the emotional hedge. You bet against your team, so that
Yes.
way if your team wins, you feel good.
Yep.
I don't do that. I like to double down. I have many hundreds of dollars of bills on the Green Bay Packers, so
Okay.
that's our take there. But what you said about Ben Johnson, I find this to be such an interesting debate, and we've talked about it before. Is how important is coaching in the NFL or in professional sports
Very.
in general? Well, in the NBA, maybe not as much. Maybe in the NFL, it is so dang important, and we have the proof for it. We have the
Mhm.
proof for it. You see the Harbaughs of the world. I mean, you see those elite coaches; they consistently win. Coaching is so important in the NFL. Like I feel like that's almost the most important coaching position in all of sports. Minus maybe like youth and high school, where it's totally different. But
Yeah, but
nonetheless,
I
it's
mean,
fascinating to think about.
the head coach is definitely a big deal. I also think the coordinators are a big deal, and
Of
even the
course,
positional coaches, like some of the
of course.
quarterback coaches, like they're also very underrated for most of, all the players get the credit, the fame, or the hate, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
it is the coaches and underneath the stuff that you don't see.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Let's dive a little deeper here. So
Okay, I
again,
want to say the Bears also are going to get Roma Dunes back.
yeah.
So that's a big offensive weapon for them is kind of how I see him. Assuming he's a full goal. The Bears do have some injuries on their defense, primarily CJ Gardner-Johnson's out. And then another DN. I'm not even going to try on this. All right, I'll try.
All
Shoyinka.
right.
Shoyinka is out.
Hey,
And they got OJ Mamiga,
ooh,
linebacker, out, and
man, you
then
are
Kyle
fluid.
Gordon, a cornerback, is also out. So they do have a little bit of injuries on their own. Um, but I've been surprised with them all year, and you hate Caleb
I don't hate him. I just
for
don't think he's
because
as
he paints
good.
his fingernails
Nothing to
and
do with that.
because you
Nothing to
played
do with
against him
that.
in the championship in Big Tuna.
That didn't bother me one bit. I
Uh,
smoked him. Didn't bother. None of that
all
bothers me.
right,
He can paint his
all right.
nails. He can paint his hair. I don't care about any of that. I'm not that type of person. I just think he's not a good pocket passer. And if you want to be great in the NFL, you need to become one very quickly. And he was a first round draft pick, supposed to be the next elite quarterback. I'm just saying I don't think he's there yet. Now let's talk about some more specifics of this matchup. What are the Bears good at? The Bears are great at turning the ball over. They have a plus 22 differential. Plus 22. Pretty sure that leads the league. Is all of that force? Is some of the offense coughing it up? I don't know, but the Packers only have a plus one. So if that bleeds into this game where the Bears are winning the turnover battle, that makes me nervous. The Packers can't be doing that. They got to
Yeah,
protect the
Packers
ball.
got to win that.
Yep. And
That's
the
their
other area
biggest.
where the Bears are decent is running the football. They run the football at a pretty good clip this year, and they got two backs that can kind of punch it down the throat a little bit. So that's something to watch out. And they do have some offensive weapons with the wide receivers. So again, I know they're a solid team, but Jordan Love has got all of his divas back. And when he has Christian Watson out there and everyone's healthy, he looks like a different man. And especially with Tom in there, like we talked about. So again,
Minus Wicks. He doesn't have
yeah,
Wicks.
well, it don't matter. He's fine. Turnover battle is going to be huge, as we talked about. Either way, this is going to be a phenomenal playoff game between two historic teams, and kudos to the Bears for finally getting here. I think it's been a long time since they've
Yeah, they
been
won the division.
relevant. Yeah, absolutely.
I
What
do
else?
think if Micah Parsons doesn't get injured, the Packers win the division, obviously.
If Parsons is in this game, my bet goes from hundreds to thousands on this game. But he's not there, so
Mm-hmm.
nothing we can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and then
what about
otherwise, I mean, Josh Jacobs, I think for Green Bay, has got to show up. Like, he is a stud running back, and
he will?
he's been battling an injury lately. He's got a little bit of rest now from last week. So I really hope he can show up and show up big. It's going to be a tough physical, probably somewhat cold game. Bigger backs traditionally are better, putting out numbers there in production, end of
Mhm.
the season, late in the season, and in cold winter games. So, and I think that's the best way to neutralize a Ben Johnson effect offensively is just to keep them off the field, right?
Yep.
Let's just pound them. Let's be physical. Green Bay needs to be very physical in this game. I think the team that is the more physical team is going to be the one that wins.
100%.
And then after that, I'm going to say the turnover battle is going to be key.
Yep.
Obviously, Micah Parsons is almost like a guaranteed one or two a game just because he's so aggressive, whether he's stripping it himself, sacking, or just forcing the pressure for a bad throw. That being said, to the Bears side of things, we can hate on Caleb Williams all day long, but I will say out of the pocket, he has elite arm talent. So he does have that talent, no doubt. And he's got good weapons around him and a great offensive-minded coach. So that's what scares me about the Bears. I actually think Green Bay's coaching staff is going to need to step up big here. I think the play call is going to be huge. You got to keep moving the chains. You got to create some, offense here. Defensively, you got to do whatever you can to get some pressure without Micah Parsons and cover the back end, and I think these coaches can do it. But they're not, I would say they're not elite coaches by any means, but I think they're very talented. And
Yeah.
they've tuned these guys to play at high levels a lot of the season. So they're gonna just all have to show up for us to have a chance here and win. And I would lean toward that. Yeah.
Okay. I think you hit on the head too with what you said. Whoever controls the run game, both this is NFC North
It's
battle in
physical,
cold
cold weather
weather,
game.
which people love to just punish defenses in that because towards the end it gets so painful and so draining. But whoever runs the ball better, I think, will win this game. And then, like you said, the turnover battle right after that. I know, not a
Hmm.
crazy shocker, but when you're talking NFC North football, it's nothing too fancy. Now, my question for you is: do you think we see a Ben Johnson fancy little scheme play, flea flicker, dipsy do in this? Because I haven't seen a lot of those this year from him. I know he did a couple, but way more with Detroit. So I'm wondering if he's kept them in his bag for the playoffs because he knew he was going to get there with how well they played.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be more of a game flow where if they're up enough and they're moving the ball like they want to, I think he'll probably stay a little, more conservative on the play call with, dialing up shots, but I wouldn't say trick plays. But if they need to manufacture some offense, I could see him definitely doing that.
Okay, so the Packers are up. Keep your eyes peeled. Watch out for something fancy.
Then that's when I would see a little more trickery probably, but he'll
Yeah.
still dial up some plays for sure.
Hmm.
But trickery wise, they might just be, well constructed passing play action is how I see it. The Bears have run the ball very well, and it's
Yeah.
helped them,
Oh yeah.
be able to pass through the air. Colson Loveland has also showed up a little bit as a pass catching tight end as well.
Let me
And
ask you this: Is sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off too hard, but I'm curious now that I've seen your slight love for the Bears coming in here after you've owned Caleb Williams this year. Caleb
I don't
Williams or
have any
Jordan?
love for the Bears.
Caleb Williams or
I'm
Jordan
being,
Love? Who's a
I'm
better
being
quarterback that you want on
neutral
your
here.
team? Okay, all right, fair enough. I know we said that earlier, but
You know
Caleb
what's
Williams or Jordan
funny?
Love? Who do you want to start?
I actually think, despite a lot of the, differences in their play style and everything, what I've seen on the field is somewhat comparable things here, is they both have elite arm talent.
Yep.
Jordan Love, I think he's got some different issues with, I don't know if I want to co call it competitiveness, but like, we all come from the Aaron Rodgers as that was the guy in front of him in our last quarterback. And, Aaron Rodgers was just obsessed. Like
Yep.
he's gonna call people off sides, like he's gonna do whatever he can to gain an edge. And I just haven't seen that, we'll call it competitiveness from Love.
Passion.
Not that he's not, but I just haven't seen that. And maybe he's a little younger too, so he's still developing, obviously. But you don't know how much of that is the play call and who's in control with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they both have elite arm talent,
All
very
right, good.
comparatively. They both can move the chains with their legs. And I think in these playoff, high intensity games, like that's going to need to be done to keep offenses on the field to sustain drives. And both these guys are capable. And how much the pass rush is going to get to each of them and how well these offensive lines hold up is a big difference. I see that is the biggest downfall I've seen with Love. Of course, he just got that concussion a couple weeks ago against the Bears. So, we need him to come out and not be afraid and to be able to throw because that'll be a big difference if he comes out a little timid because he
I don't
hasn't
think he
had
will.
really playing time since that hit and
He's
that
not going to come
injury.
out timid. He's not going to come out timid just because of that hit. I get what you mean there. With that said, can you answer my question and pick one, please?
What was the question?
Jordan Love or Caleb Williams as your starting quarterback in your NFL team? Who would you rather have?
Are all other things the same?
All other
Coaching,
things are the same.
players?
All are the same.
I'll take Malik Willis.
You and me both.
For the
He
win.
seems more consistent than either one of those cats when he's in there.
I mean, for fantasy,
Uh,
it's rushing touchdowns, so it's Malik Willis for me.
yep. No, that's fair. Now I need to go on one little tangent here, and I need to shred the Packers. I've had a lot of hate towards the Bears, rightfully so. But I need to shred Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers for something that has infuriated me this season. Matthew Golden. You take him in the
Yeah.
first
What
round.
the
You
F?
don't throw him the football. He doesn't even have a touchdown this year. Are you kidding me? You don't draft a wide receiver for 20 years in the first round. You get him and you put him on the effing sidelines. Get
Yeah.
him the ball in the playoffs, or you're going to lose, and you need him. He's great at catching the ball. He has the second most separation on our team, second to Christian Watson. Dude, what are we doing? Is there, I don't know, like, it doesn't seem like there's any personality issues. Seems like a great minded guy. Seems like a workhorse. Everyone loves him. I am just
hmm
erratic
No,
and just
I
furious.
second this. I'm with you. I'll
Just
storm the tantrum
furious.
here as well. I mean, Matt, before we're calling you out on this, man. Like
Dude,
you drafted him, you talked about his speed right away is the main reason, right? Why don't we get him stretching the field, run Watson right underneath him on a deep crossing pattern? Those two guys use their speed. That's what we need for offense
dude.
right now, right?
Oh my! And even worse, Kyle, it is regressed as the season went. As we got Watson back, Love faded Golden even more and went more towards Watson. And the dude barely drops the ball. He's faster and heck and gets great separation. Like I said, here's his catches as the season goes: 2-0-4-5-3-4-3-2, and then here's where it gets light: 1-0
Yeah.
3-0 1-1.
I mean,
What
I'm
are we
honestly
doing?
fine if you want to, favorite Watson a little bit if he's playing well enough. But how do you not take some shots with Goldman and his speed, or at least use him to stretch the safeties and then run Watson underneath on a deep crosser. Or, what I mean? You got to take some shots with him. You got to use his speed somewhat, even if he's 2 targets a game. If they're 50-yard targets and they do enough for the offense, like that's important.
You want to? So you want to? This I want, and I wonder if this is a connection with him and Love because this. I just pulled this up. His snap percentage. God, I'm even more mad now. Week 18, 0 doesn't matter. Week 17 and go on reverse. 53, 31, 35, 9 out, 35 out, 37. Are you effing kidding me? The dude's not even getting 50% snap share as a number one receiver in the first round. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and there may be something that we don't know, right? And Jaden Reed is back, and he is a great threat as well.
Yeah.
You got to guys get him the ball on some short, shallow crossing plays. He's a dynamic runner. I'd like to see some of that. And Dobbs is a great move the chain guy, comeback routes. That's how you got to use these guys and manufacture your offense or run it, right?
Yeah, but I like it when Watson went down with that scare of a shoulder injury. Our wide receivers went silent and they didn't even try to get Golden the ball. It's like I would love to hear in the offseason or whatever what is going on with this situation because imagine how this guy feels. I'm the number one pick going to Lambeau Field. I'm excited, and why aren't they using me?
He had the golden ticket, right?
What did I? There you go. He's probably thinking, what the heck did I do? But
yeah,
I guess if this is how we're going to treat wide
said,
receivers,
there might be some
draft one in the first round again. Don't ever draft one in the first round again if this is what you're going to do.
I agree with that. But like I said, there might be something that we don't know about, sure. But I think, this is the day. This is the game. You need him to show up big. He's high draft capital. You got those other guys there. This is our best offense. You're going to have to throw and spread the field and use those guys. Of course, you still have to hammer Jacobs, no doubt. You hammer him, then you run some play action, and you have some, well thought out passing plays for however you think this secondary is weak, and you can protect Jordan Love. And that's how you move the ball and run this offense.
Yep.
We don't have Tucker Kraft anymore. We don't have a high skilled tight end. So you got to use these guys to get your offense.
Yeah, you're right on the money. You're right on the money. But all right, I'll calm down now. But nonetheless, LaFleur, you failed this part of the season, my man. You just failed it.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have high hopes for you in the playoffs here, so let's see what you can do to redeem yourself, buddy.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
Now or
otherwise,
never.
you need to be pulled from any Quick Trip commercials, and you need to get your head back into the game.
All right, over-unders at 44.5. What you like on that? Over-under playoffs normally lean towards the under. I will say that. A lot of people like to get excited about the overs. It's more fun to root for. Playoff football, especially in the first round, usually goes under. I looked at last year's second round. Holy crap, there were some points put up in that round. But what do you think?
I feel like they usually go under on the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I mean, every play is harder. Defense plays better. You know what I mean? It's a lot more intense. So, yes.
Like I said, and the weather does not look good. It looks to be cold and windy. So I would probably take the under as well.
In the Windy City, a lot of running the football.
In the Windy City. So all right, so be mindful about those deep passes that I told you to take. We still need to have the game plan. The offensive line, you need to be physical. You need to bring in any tight ends that are better for blocking. And you got to smash these guys in the face, and we got to smash Jacobs right at them.
Yep.
And then dial up some schemy plays and use the speed.
Yep. I'm calling it 24-21. Packers on the road take down Chicago, and the over hits by a half a point. What's your take on prediction here?
Well, I'm going to predict for the Packers to win because I want them to win.
What's your score?
But you're right. If I went to bet, I'd probably just bet against them because then either way I would feel good. You know what I mean?
Depends on how much you bet, but yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
What's your score prediction? What do you got for me?
Let's say 21-17.
Who's got it?
Packers.
All righty. Look at that. ChatGPT, Kyle, and I agree on this one, folks. That is a 3 for 3. Take the Packers.
All right, go Packers. You got anything else?
No, it's playoffs, baby. Let's keep it rolling. We'll have a few more key matchups for you on the other games this weekend. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, we got 6 beautiful games of football coming our way. Get your couch, get your potato chips. I got my chuck roast getting ready, folks. Let's have a weekend.
Playoffs. All right, thanks for tuning in the Fantasy Football Channel. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Go Packers.
Go Pack, go.